Good evening and welcome to Beginners Academy. We have Zoom meetings on Mondays, and our Zoom group is assembled here. And we try to have content that newcomers to amateur radio or returning hams would be interested in. And tonight we're going to talk about QRZ.com, which almost all amateurs have some interaction with. And if you're totally new to ham radio, you may not be familiar with it. So we're going to share our screen and so forth. But QRZ is a Q signal. It's used for CW Morse code, and it means who is calling. But that's been adopted by a website called QRZ.com. And it's essentially who is calling, because it has a record in it for almost all licensed amateurs around the world. And so I was looking for the history, which we'll do a share here. All right, well, this is Wikipedia. So as I said, QRZ.com is the amateur radio website listing almost every call sign in the world, founded by Fred Lloyd in 1992. So it's over 30 years. And it started as a project to distribute FCC information to hams. And it actually started on tape. And then it evolved into CD-ROM, which was much more convenient. And so essentially a directory of information searchable by hams. And this was pre-internet as we know it. So this is has grown over the years and is quite a amateur radio institution. And I'm going to stop that share. And I'm going to get some help from our group tonight, because this is not necessarily a rehearsed talk. Let's see. I believe I can, as we said, the founder is Fred Lloyd. And we'll see if we can get a video here of Fred going. And let me know if you can hear this.
Over to our dash UTY to kick off our program.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, this is from the Atlanta Radio Club.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to make this quick. Fred, sorry for the delay. So I'm just going to turn it over to you. AA7BQ, Fred Lloyd. He is, I guess you're the founder and you're in charge of QRZ.com, which I think we all use, but probably just for call sign lookup. If you have any questions about Fred, look him up on QRZ.com. I hear he's on there. So with that, I'm just going to turn it over. Go ahead, Fred. The wait is over. Thanks.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I'm coming from you here from Phoenix, Arizona. It's 102 degrees outside right now. It was 103 when the call started. So it's coming down rapidly. We don't even notice it because who goes outside in that weather anyway? Yeah, I'm the guy that created QRZ 28 years ago. And I've probably met some of you fellows in person before because I've traveled quite a bit, and I know I've spoken to the to your club before in different settings and what have you. A lot of times I'll come on and talk about how QRZ was founded, how we got started, and things like that. I've been given that talk for a good 10 years now, and lately I've had a lot more interest in just talking about the website, what it does, maybe going over a few features that you might not know about, things that it's capable of doing. And I also really like the interactive part of it. And I really love to answer questions. So, and don't be shy. If you got a question, just pop in, because if you're like me, if you don't ask it right now, you'll forget. And it'll be lost forever. So if you think of something, just butt in, go ahead and ask. There should be enough of you to remind me of where I was in the conversation. So I think we'll be okay. So anyhow, with that, I'm going to attempt a screen share here and pull up my QRZ screen, and the host here needs to enable that permission for me.
I knows how to do that. All right, hang on one second. So I'm scared. There it is.
Well, we're gonna get a screen
Yeah,
share
so-
of a screen share.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good. Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah.
everybody should be seeing a picture of the QRZ homepage right now. Trying to make that as big as I can. Is that what you're seeing on the screen?
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, page,
Can you make the video bigger, Greg?
simpler. In fact,
Yeah.
you know, anyone can tell you that there's just 100 different things to look at right here on this page. However, it wasn't always that way. This is what the page looked like right here back in 1997. In fact, darn it, like that. And I guess you can't see that because I'm not sharing that. Okay, I apologize for that. Anyway, let me get that out of the way. And further apologize for my tardiness here. Okay. So, you know, the big thing on QRZ, of course, you see across the top, there's lots and lots of different things and places you can go and things you can do. But let's just start where everybody starts, at the database. It's a fact that every single person that comes to QRZ looks up one call sign first. Guess which one that is?
Their
That's
own.
right, your own call sign. And this fellow here is VE3DWI. We can see he's in Canada there. And we've got a few things on him here. It says that, for example, there's his biography. It tells a little bit about himself. And in detail, this is the important QSL information that most people come for, and including a map to his physical location. Now let's look at that for a second. See that line on the map there? That's a line between his location and mine. And that distance is 1,825 miles, as shown right here. And the bearing from my location here in Phoenix is 58.7 degrees. So if I had an antenna, that's where I would point it for the best reception. Now, bear in mind, that's true north. That's not magnetic or anything. That's true north between 2 points. And you know, just for curiosity, we also mentioned the long path to the same location. But this basically shows that every single record on QRZ has a location associated with it, and frankly, a lot of information besides the location. And for example, counties, if it's the United States call sign, will be an important field, and other things like that. Here we, he has his CQ zone. We can find that out here. And then there are other call signs. He's known by these other call signs down here. And if you look down at the lower left, you'll see that if PA0MIH is a previous call of his, well, that's an alias. He's got that set up now as an alias. That means that if I go up to the search and I search for PA0MIH, it's going to come right back here, PA0MIH, and that's because he set up an alias to this call sign, and it gives here, it's crazy enough, it says there are 3 people that have used that before, but we're going to pick this one here, and again, that's what an alias does for you. If you add an alias to your call sign, it means that it's an alternative way for people to find you. So if you've had old call signs, you put them in there, they can still find you. That way we don't have to carry the actual old call sign record. Now, let's go for a moment to my own record, to my own page. And it's a pretty big, normal page like everybody else. But I wanted to show you here in the detail, for example, it's got my location set right here, and that's in the middle of Phoenix, Arizona. And that's actually a mailing location. It's not far from my physical location, close enough for all of my antenna work anyway. So that's my location. Well, some people write to us often and ask, well, how do I set that location? I mean, that information does not come from the FCC. In other words, the FCC does not have latitude and longitude and grid square that they don't have that stuff. They don't at all. They don't have it. We have to come up with it. And so when new call signs come in, we do a lookup against internet databases that map street addresses to lat long, and we come up with something when we can. Sometimes we can't, but when we can, we do. But still, the question is, how do I change this location? Well, it's not difficult. If I come up here and say edit the AA7BQ, I'll come to the general call sign editing page. Everyone should be familiar with this page because this is where you edit your call sign page on QRZ. And there are several categories. Since there's so many things, there's several categories here. And the map and the grid square and the coordinate are what I'm interested in right now. How do I change my location in QRZ? Well, I'll click on that, and it's pulled up the map that's shown on my page. And notice this pointer here, I can move that around. So if I've decided to move, for example, to another part of the city, all I have to do is just move that pointer like that and click on save. And that's how that'll update my grid square, everything, and my lat long coordinates all at once, simply by moving that map pointer. You don't need to know your grid square because it'll tell you, for example, right here, any place I drag this pointer, it points to a grid square. It's displayed right up here, DM43JB. If I move it up here, it's JC, and so on and so forth. So I'll bet you didn't know that you can find any grid square anywhere by just using the little map feature. There are other places you can do it, but that is one of them. Another thing here, you notice that, see this little selector box, it says mapping options, actual location, or with a pointer, or approximate location, or no map. So some people don't want this. They don't want a map to their location. Well, you can choose no map, no location, no grid, and it won't be shown. So we give options wherever we can, and but this particular one has proven to be very, very popular. Some people ask, they'll come in, especially after a call sign change or actually after a physical move, they'll ask us what's wrong with their county information. Well, the county information is kept here in this section, the section that's called basic call sign data, update the basic call sign data. County is another one of those things that the FCC does not supply. And you'll see here in this form, this is the data having to do with my call sign itself. Some of it's in green and some of it's not. The stuff that's in green is supplied by the FCC, and we can't change it here. But the other things, including the county right here, I can choose any county within the state, in this case, within the state of Arizona. And that's how I would update the county for my call sign. And if it was a different state, even that works as well. It just has to be indicated in the by the FCC there. So we're in Maricopa County. Here's where we put these aliases in. If you have an alias, this is where you would enter it in. Like if I wanted to add an alias, like for example, AB1ZZ, that's probably a real call sign. I could say could be mine. I could put that in there like that. That's just a note, right? That could be mine thing. And then when I save that, that's a part of my basic call sign data now. So it's in this list, AB1ZZ could be mine. Now, if anyone looks that up, let's see what happens. AB1ZZ, it says it came right here to my call sign. It says alias for AA7BQ is an alias. There's an alias for it. It's AB1ZZ. So that's how I did it. That's how I set up an alias. I'm going to go back real quick now and change it back because I am not AB1ZZ. I'll just come right here to basic call sign data, come down to this alias I created, check the delete right there. I want that gone and say save. And now if AB1ZZ that's AB7, 1ZZ gets looked up, there is no call sign AB1ZZ. So that's what we expected. That's good. So there you go. Just a quick peek in how you can set up your call sign page for those things. I know editing your call sign page can be difficult too, especially when it gets large. This one is a modest sized call sign page, and there's not a lot of words in it, but it's a showing of what you can do. By the way, believe it or not, we have 2 million pictures on QRZ, and that was the count as of last year. We certainly have more than that now, but just in terms of ham photographs, we've got the largest collection of them anywhere. Right up here where it says database on the main menu, if you come down here to pick Safari, that's picture Safari, you get to see some of the thousands and thousands of photos that we have. And you can scroll through this list literally until your mouse runs out of gas, because it'll never end. You cannot get to the end of this list of pictures. And anyone that you see, you can get it, you can look at it closely, or you can actually go to that guy's page if you wanted, or you can add a tag. If you add a tag, like
He clicked on the wrong button.
You turned him off.
I know.
I think we got the gist of it.
Yeah. There we go.
That's kind of
just renewed.
interesting.
All right. Well, actually, I didn't know about the alias
Yeah.
part. I knew it handled that somehow, but it's the alias part.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I could do one for VA3 ECO stroke W4 when I'm down in Florida.
What
Well,
looks like you can do almost anything. Oh,
when
I'm
you do
trying.
portable, you can do that.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, we can go over and share. Well, I encourage anybody who wants to listen to the whole YouTube, because I think Fred will probably cover everything of, well, probably some things that we don't know about, so I could learn something by. But it's interesting how one individual gets involved and creates an institution, as I call it. And Yeah. So here we are. I encourage new hams to new hams have a page, and all they have to do is put in their own call sign to get there. This is my page. So you don't have to be elaborate, but it'd be nice to have a little bit about you, and maybe that you're just getting started and in ham radio, because people are going to look you up. And they do keep up with the number of lookups. And I've got quite a few, but you can kind of tell who's new. They won't have a lot of lookups. And if I see a call sign on a license tag of a vehicle, I'll look up their call and find out something about them. Well, one of my pictures is this rocket here. So when even on CW, when I make a contact, they'll make some comment about the rocket. They'll say, well, that's some rocket there, Greg. And I say, that's right. Yeah, that's Mighty Mo. So another thing that's very helpful is getting someone's email. Your email will be available if you turn that feature on. And they kind of have it hid. You have to put your mouse over it. Mine is just showing up here, but you may want to follow up with somebody, or could even be a friend of yours. And it's very helpful if you can locate their email.
Yeah, a lot of times I found someone will hear you and want to do a sket, like they might be after your grid or your county or what have you. And I think it's really important to put that in there. I mean, I understand some people want to stay unanimous, but you saw when Greg first came to this page, it said email : use mouse to view. And once he moved his mouse over it, his name popped up. But prior, when he first opened up this screen, we couldn't see his email address. So if someone's coming into this page without being a QRZ member themselves, they can't get that email address. So I think it's a great thing to put in there. I've had many people track me down on QRZ for schedules and stuff, or even you've had a great QSO and you've talked about something of interest, be it rocketry or Jim might be talking about guitars or what have you, and the guy will touch bases with you later on and get an email thing going. I think it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, well, there's a little story about that. There on the main page, there is they highlight a featured member, and well, I had no idea this was going on, but I have a friend in Michigan, John Refschneider. Well, anyway, he didn't know me, but he saw me as a featured member, and he saw the big rocket, and he likes to go to rocket launches, and he sent me an email, and I just didn't know what it was about, but basically he was saying, I want to come to the rocket launch, and he did, and that's how we got together.
Now, Greg, put John's call sign in that box. Let's go to his. This is interesting.
Yeah, John is very popular. Let's see. WHJER. Yes.
Look at his lookups.
Yeah. Well, he has, let's see.
4 million.
4 million.
Now, he was on QSO today,
Yeah, yeah.
and they asked him about the 4 million. And they said, "Did you do some skullduggery or something to get it to 4
Yeah,
million?" And he said, "Yes, I do," but he wouldn't reveal what
right.
skullduggery he did to get it to 4 million. So that's obviously he knows his way around computer systems a bit. So
Yeah. Well, he lives in Michigan,
and
and
nice antenna there.
he has a tilt over tower. uh, I guess it's 70 feet tall. A nice station. Yeah. A flex. He's more up
He's
to
a
date than me.
he's a flexer.
Yeah. So there's John. Well, John, well, he lives in Michigan, but he likes to come down for the winters, or he did. He hasn't come down lately. And so I met a friend essentially through QRZ. How about that?
So that's how you bumped into him. He's a loop guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has the disease. That's true.
Yeah, we worked in that park together. Yeah. Him and
Yeah,
his wife, very friendly. Nice folks.
yeah, they're great people. And uh, they actually got married on the beach on Valentine's Day down here. So there you go. Uh, Another thing. Now this is just all basic stuff, but you can search by call sign, but you can also, if you don't know the call sign, you can search by name and address. And uh, so you may want to find somebody that way. And you can also search by county, which, if you wanted to know all the hams in Bay County, actually, there's more than one Bay County, but maybe by county, this may not work. Let's see, Bay, Florida, and there happens to be where I am now. 749 matches. So if you want to find
There you
everybody
are.
in your county, there you go. So there's 700 plus hams around, well, in Bay County, Florida. So, well, we have 100 hams in the club and 700 in Bay County. That's, I think the club's doing pretty good.
How many became members to our club?
There's about, it's over 100. It's like 120, 140.
Yeah.
We have quite a few members. Yeah.
But are the ones that became hams to our club? That would be more than the members we have, right?
That's right. You're exactly right. Another thing, speaking about where are the hams, let's see, is something called Grid Mapper. And actually, well, if you know your grid square, there's other ways you can just move around on this map and find, but it will focus in on a grid.
Oh,
So anyway, you can find your neighbors. This is an just one 6-digit grid in Bay County here. And
try
well,
try EN29 NP.
all right. EN29 MP.
November Papa.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
November.
Yeah. All right. Well, It's not
Who's
many
that?
hands.
Who's
Where's
Where's
that?
that at?
Well,
Oh, that's that moose.
is that where Rocky and the Moose live? Right there.
So I'm on the island. What's this B3R special event rotary? What? What?
There's something you didn't know about, right?
Okay,
You
there's
know, like
so,
they had a station at that convention, which is quite popular for a lot of conventions.
I think there's someone hiding in the bush out there. I gotta go look.
Someone's operating from your location.
Yeah. I worked the Miss American contest one time. They had a station
Oh,
there.
well, look, it's Rick. Maybe it's not your QTH. Well,
That's odd.
Close.
that's so weird. That's
What is
so
going
weird.
on?
So
Did you
this
look
is
on the call
Chris.
sign to get any information from that other person?
B3R is a special event out of Toronto.
Oh, wow.
How they got,
They don't know how to use grid squares.
yeah,
All right.
that's interesting.
Well, anyway, if you want to find hams maybe on your block or down the street or in your
And they put in EN 2029 NP.
yeah.
They must have. How many are there
Okay.
just in 29 just for grids?
Yeah,
Just-
go EN 29. I think you're about no, there'd be about 10 or 12 of us or more.
hang
No,
on.
actually there'd be about 30.
You just go in the grid section.
Yeah,
Oh,
just get
wait,
rid
wait,
of
wait.
get rid of
Right
the
here.
NP.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, get rid of MP.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not,
you should.
I don't know if it will take a 4. Now,
EN 29.
Yeah, no, there should be about 30 or so.
oh, I shouldn't have put set. Let's see. Somehow it doesn't like EN 29.
What happens when you hit set?
Well, if I hit set, it goes to grid.
Wow, he really doesn't like it. Is this a black site, Chris?
That's interesting. I gotta try it on mine.
Well,
see if it does.
anyway. Yeah, well, you can research that. Let's see. All right. Well,
No, I won't take it on my computer either.
all right. Well, one of our Zoom members has volunteered to fill us in on the QRZ logbook. So, so Zoom member. Okay.
Yeah, here we are with W4RYZ logbook. And let's see, these are all green. And green means they're also logged into logbook of the world. That's what green means. If they weren't, it would be another color, okay? And over here, where the little stars are, that means that you are in their logbook also with the same information here. And you can see what you have to be. You have to be on the right band in the right mode at the right time. I think there's a 30-minute plus or minus on the time there, he said. So you have a little leeway there when you put them in. And then up there, he'll tell you how many QSOs they have that are logged, almost 3,000 for W4RYZ. 544 are confirmed, so that's not a very big percentage. And they've only worked 55 countries. And you can go to, you can look at their awards. Let's see, their awards are down here. They've got the World Friendship Award, the Continents Award. So there's 7 continents. I think you only have to have 6 of them to get the award. The Grid Square Award, I don't know how many you have to have. 30 years. I'm not sure what that means. I think that means you've been on for 30 years or something. Kind of like the Quarter Century Wireless Association. I guess that was close as he could get to them. And then a counties award, and you can look at the analyze there, and it'll tell you, oh, it's going to analyze there's all the counties that you got or you didn't get in the whole United States. And I forget how many counties there are, like 3,000 or 4,000, something like that. So if you get the Worktall Counties Award, you've done some work there. The thing I like about this page is over here under the swap meet.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that.
All right, so these are the things you can look at the swap meet hot list. And this is the ones that are on the front page that we just came from. Then they have ham radio gear for sale. And then there's one on there called ham radio gear wanted. That is actually not there. This is an old, he's for some reason has switched the database over to an older database just for a while. You could go back maybe an hour later and you'll get a newer screen and that won't be there. I'll click on it and show you what happens.
Mine doesn't have wanted.
That's right. You're in a different database than I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So for whatever reason, he kept this old one there. So when you go here, it says, oh, that's an error. Well, I know it, but okay. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Where'd he go? I got to move y'all out of the way. There he is.
So is this a trustworthy thing, do you think, Jim?
Well, it's very popular. Swap meet is
Yeah.
very popular. We'll just go to ham radio for sale. And this is all the stuff you need to know here where the line is drawn. You need to know all of those before you post something, because he will let you know real quick when you do something wrong. And if it's really bad enough, he'll just take it off. And you'll have to contact him. He won't even bother to contact you. But if you just do something, like you said, I'll take PayPal, but you got to pay me 3%. Well, you can't say that. Okay, so he'll come back and he'll send you a little note and ask you to take that out. Or if you sell something, he'll ask you to please mark it sale. It'll be on your page when you pull up your page from the webmaster. He'll say, would you please mark that sold? Although he could do it himself, he wants you to do it. So you can look down here and see what's going on and everything.
Yeah, you can see one got a sale pending.
Yeah, that one's working on that. It's not done yet, or at least that's the way
And
they
then-
got it
And then
marked.
below that, it's sold.
The sold ones are gray, so they're marked sold. And if, well, let's just bring up one of these to show you what you can. Well, I don't know why it didn't come. Oh, I hit the sold. I didn't hit the sale.
Does
this
he
is-
does he monitor that himself?
Oh, somebody does.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it'd be like pretty
It
big.
doesn't take very long when something goes wrong. They're on there after you.
I,
So
I just wanted,
this guy was able to post a picture and he got to tell all about it and everything. And you can actually comment on him, but your comment has got to be something about the thing. You can't go back and say, hey, Joe, are we still going fishing this Friday? No, you can't do that. He'll say, hey, this is not a QR, this is not a mailbox. This is a
but
you know,
does he
like a-
see, does he see all that going on from somewhere?
Oh
Because I would
yeah,
imagine-
all the time people are violating the rules there. Yeah.
I know, but for someone to monitor that on all the people that go in there, there must be.
I'm sure he's got Mr. AI monitoring a lot of that stuff. So let me see how I get back out of that. I forget how to get back out of there. I usually just close the page and go back in. If you look here, the next thing it has is, see, now I got the new page. That ham gear wanted is gone. So that wasn't on there for very long. I don't see it very often. Handmade gear. Okay. So here you'll see, somebody has got a place card that they can make for you, a frequency card, some maps. Somebody made a 33-foot vertical antenna. He wants to, so these are all supposedly handmade stuff. Somebody made wood sides for 73. So you can go look at that. You can go back. And then he's got general merchandise. Now you can put your computers here. I've seen guitars here. I've seen old cars here. He doesn't monitor that too much. See, here's a set of electronic encyclopedias. Really odd stuff. An iPhone 14. Okay, stuff like that will go there. And if you put something in the wrong category, he'll let you know. He'll let you know. Let's go back to the logbook. You can look at my logbook. Let me move that out of the way. You can look at my logbook. I've got almost 3,000 entries in there. 544. No, that's W4RYZ. I'm sorry. Well, see, I got more than that. My logbook.
Well, does this work with your radio, or do you
Well,
just
yes,
type it in?
yes,
Or
I type it in because I don't have it hooked to my radio, but there are radio control programs. I think HRD Deluxe, Ham Radio Deluxe, has a link where it will post here and also post
okay,
to Logbook of the World. And there's some other,
Yeah, I think
programs.
DX Keeper will too.
I don't know if WSJT, I think maybe WSJT will post here also if you have it hooked up right. I don't, so I don't worry about it. But here's how I do mine. Now you write in all these things over here. I put in country and city or whatever I can find to put in. This guy in Samoa, I don't know where he is in Samoa. I don't know if he's in Samoa or American Samoa. It just says Samoa, so that's all it had on there. If you work somebody in the Ukraine, it just says Ukraine. Doesn't say where it is. But you can look down, and also the last 15 of these right here are on your page. Now let me move y'all out of the way, and we'll look at my page. I think that's my page right there. No, that's not my page. Where's my page at? There's my page. So there's my page. I've got 28,700 lookups. And then these are some things I posted. Just worked on that and da. You can go down. There's the antenna that I made. That's a big one there. That's a 40-meter one there. Full size 40-meter quarter wave. I got stuff. There's the Hamfest Corey and I were at. And I don't know who that guy is down there praying.
That looks like some sort of, that guy
I
looks
don't
Puerto
know.
Rican to me.
Some guy from up north came down here.
No, he looks like a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, this was Orlando this year. This was Montgomery.
Montgomery.
I think that
Yeah.
was Montgomery, yeah. And one of my old stations, which doesn't look too much different. I got carried away one time painting a watt meter. There you go. Oh, and this one is a favorite one. I've had so many people. Be surprised how many people have seen this and sent me an email wanting to buy that key right there. It is a tiny, tiny key. And I use that for just a little CW. Haha. There you go. And this is
Montgomery again.
I think that's Montgomery 20, yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
You were, yes, you were. You were across the road.
There's
from
my
us.
loop in the back there, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You were across the road, and this one they let me put my trailer inside the building. I like that. And that's
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. There's a coil that I made. There's an actual tower that I have. There's my 6-meter beam. It's up there. You can see it. That's what it looks like right now. But it hadn't changed, and that's the hazer that runs up and down there that Phil N4STC made. He made that. And when he got rid of his tower, he gave it to me. I tried to pay him for it, but he wouldn't take it. I forget where that is. And that guy right there in the red shirt, I know, I can't remember his name.
Huntsville.
Yeah, that was Huntsville. Yeah, that was Huntsville a long time ago. Okay, I have about 30 of those radios. Remember the guy at Huntsville that was interested? He actually came and got them. He brought me a lot of money, and he got all of those. There was actually about 39 of them when we actually counted them. But I told him, I said, well, I told you 30, so I'll just charge you for 30 and you get the other 9 for free.
He bought all your old radios?
He bought 39 of them, yeah.
it's
Oh,
all the
really?
same radio.
Yeah, they're all that one, right? Well, I think 8 or 9 of this is the transistorized ocean hopper or whatever they call that thing.
Transoceanic.
Transoceanic. Okay, this is a transistorized transoceanic, the same radio. This is the tube model. This one came later in the 60s. This would have been the 40s and 50s probably here.
How did you get 30 of them?
I got them from an estate, and there's about 8 different models of this. They really had some differences in the models, and I had one model. He was familiar with all these. He rebuilds them and everything. And
I worked on several of those.
yeah, I
They're
showed
very
him one.
interesting.
I showed him one. I said, I've never seen one like this before. And I opened up the back, and he looked at it. He said, I didn't even know they made one of these. It's got a third antenna in the back.
Yeah.
It has 2 antennas. There's one antenna right there. And this is a magnetic antenna that you put on your refrigerator. Of course, you don't have to put it on the refrigerator, but that's what the instructions
Yeah.
say. That comes off of there, and you stick it on your refrigerator. It's got some twin leads. But inside there is a long wire that's coiled up on a spool. And you just drag it out, and I guess you throw it up in a tree or throw it on the ground or something. And it's factory. It's not something somebody added.
Yeah,
He said this is probably going to be worth the other 29 put together when I go price it. I mean, he was very happy to get all of those. I was very happy.
that radio had like a 1.5 volt filament.
Well, it had A, B, and C batteries in it, which was all the way up to like 90 volts, I think. And I have some of those. I have some of those old batteries. They're not any good, but I have some of the old.
They're expensive as heck, though. My dad had one of those in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. This is some damage. There's what my antenna and my truck looked like after. Oh, Michael did that in the first 30 minutes. Well, he just come through and took that down. There's my tower.
Well, you snapped that, huh?
There's the pole. I couldn't get out of my driveway because the power pole, that's the power pole that blocked my cars. There's my truck. They totaled it. This is Phil's house.
That's mine.
Oh, that's
My
your
house.
house. That's your
Phil's
house.
full- Yeah,
That's
mine.
Corey's.
Phil's
That's
full over.
Corey's tower. Corey has a ground mounted tower, and that's Phil's house right there.
Yeah.
And this is my house from the end where a big tree came down. This is a clubhouse.
Right.
This was the clubhouse. I was down there right after. That was just a couple hours after the hurricane. I mean, it looked like a bright sunny day after the thing went through. That's the what do you call it?
Hex
X
beam.
beam?
That's the hex beam. What's left of it right there on the ground. This is Fox NK4A. That's his wife. That's their house back down in that mess there somewhere. This is an upside down jet plane from Tyndall Air Force Base. See its wheels up in the air there. And I wrote on there, a jet from Tyndall Air Force Base. Not what they mean when they say wheels up. So I thought that was
Very clever.
And there I am. I'm putting my stop sign and my street sign back up because I couldn't even tell where I lived after the hurricane without that sign there because everything looks so bad. This was about 10 days after the hurricane. I hadn't had a bath, neither had my wife. We went up almost to Chipley to find somebody that had water. So they let us wash our dishes. And we were just going to strip down right there. I said, I'm going to take a shower. Where are you going to take it? I said, I'm going to take it right here. If you don't want to see me in the buff, then you better go. So me and my wife were just stripped down and took a shower right there and got all cleaned up. And while we were taking a shower, some Jehovah Witnesses came by and they left us 6 bags of groceries. They thought we were refugees or something. So, like we came back to our car and there was 6 bags of groceries back there that they left us. they were traveling through. They were traveling through. They saw 2 people naked out there taking a shower with the car parked over here.
You should do that more often.
Got me a bunch of groceries. Yeah, that was nice of them. They're good groceries.
Do that once a month.
Yeah, I take that shower every month. There's the tree that fell on me right there.
All right.
So
So
this is a warehouse. This is a warehouse that I had where all my radios were stored. You can see there's no roof. Now I got a free roof for that. And all I had to do was go around to all the people that were getting new roofs and asked the builder, could I have their old one? And would he take care when he took it off? Because they had to pay however much that old one weighed, they had to pay to dump it. So I was actually saving them money. So I got enough new metal to completely redo that roof and put a new roof on my brother's house, which blew off for free. All I had to do was go around and pick it up as the roofers took them off. I told them to be careful. And of course, it's got like a million holes in it that didn't match up with my rafters and everything. So I was gonna cut me some like 1/2 inch squares of duct tape, about 500 of them, and go up there and staple them. So the first rain that it came, the building didn't leak. The rain won't come through those tiny little nail holes. It sits there and it acts like a magnifying glass, and you can see a big spot on the floor where the sun shines through, but it never has leaked. I never have
Wow.
covered them up.
Wow.
There's my station during the hurricane. There's the battery. And I don't know what that is. There's my radio that I listen to and everything. This is my station back in 1960. Viking. I have a Crystal Control Viking
So-
Adventure.
So all this is on your QRZ.
All this is on my page. Here's
Yes.
my 2018.
Right.
And in there, here's me and Corey. On the first day of 2018, when the contest started, we went to a rare grid where it was like, it wasn't quite 30 degrees. And I think it might have been raining.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing so hard, I had to put 5 guy wires on this aerial on top of my car to keep it up.
It's
And
your commander.
we ran 2 rigs on the very first day. And here, now, when the hurricane came in October, I didn't have a station for the rest of the year. So I only participated 9.5 months. And I won all of these awards here. Here's some that I got. These are scores by month. These are first place scores by month. 17 meters, I took first place phone in July and August. On 15 meters phone, I took first place July and August. 15-meter digital, I took first place in September. This is worldwide now, first place worldwide. 12-meter phone, but anyway, I want you to look down here. 70-centimeter phone, I took first place March and April. You know how many contacts I had?
2.
1. You know
One.
who? You know
Corey?
who the one? Yeah, Corey was the one. So he got
Okay.
first place. So he got first place too. Me and Corey did digital. We did FT8 on 70 centimeters. And they took it in the log. They verified it in the log. And we both got first place worldwide on that. So there you go. I got like 30 first place awards, 32 first place awards in 12 different categories in the International Grid Chase. There's my first FT8 contact. And here, look at this. They're always putting their certificates on there. This is the FT8 digital mode. I'm number 644. They're up into the, I don't know, 89,000 number now. So I got in there early. Same with the digital modes club. This was the digital mode club. This is the digital modes club. Yeah, different
I
ones.
just
I'm a
got
life member.
22,500, Jim.
What's that?
I just got 22,500.
Oh, you just got it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they had more than that. Well, I'm number 500 and I'm number 644. You can tell them you got one of the old timers. I'm a life member. I'm a QCWA. Oh, now this is something you can get your page and your data authenticated. It doesn't cost you anything, but you have to go through a lot of paperwork. So that's good, which means everything on here supposedly is true. Okay, that's gone down. This was some one of my early satellite antennas. Another one. Another of my old station. This was some field days we had. Field day 2016, field day, just another field day, 2015. Well, that was our club repeater there. Sitting there. It's antenna came down. What's his name? Michael took that. There's some loops that I made a long time ago. You got that one there. I still have that one and that one. And I have another one. I have 3 old ones that I made. There's one that I made this for a guy that lives in a condo over in Jacksonville. He wanted that. I still have this one here. This is a 40-meter one. That's a big boy right there. I still have that loop.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
go back to that loop there. No, the
Yep.
one with the gamma match on it. Down, go down. Down.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I never built one with a gamma match up there like that. How do you feed it? and how do you
Okay.
adjust
Well,
it?
there's 2 gamma matches. That's a real gamma match. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have what they call a no capacitor gamma match, which I'll show you. I have one of those. This is a gamma match right here, where this tube is isolated. It's just hanging in free space there. And it has the center of the coax running through it. That's your capacitor. Okay. And you adjust this here for your SWR right there. Okay. Good.
But the clamps out the boat.
That's a jumper. Yeah. The ground goes right there.
On the big loop.
And you cut the ground off and you just put the coax with the insulation through this pipe. Now this pipe has to be a certain ratio of the diameter of that pipe. It has to be smaller. I forget what it is. I think it's the 25% ratio if you want to get the lowest SWR. You can't just stick anything up there. It's got to be proportional. And they're difficult to get going.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that, but I did. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show you one here. This is one of the first Zygoos that they made, the X108G, and I bought this from a guy that actually worked at Zygo. He snuck this out the back door and sold a bunch of them for a really cheap price. What I wanted to show you, there's a loop that I had. Let's see, is that it? No, wait a minute. Okay. There's a Commodore 64 that was actually in use at that time. I did field day with that Commodore 64, RTTY field day with the Commodore, and I still have that. I still have that. I still have that with the interface, the keyboard, and the monitor. I still have all that. Yeah.
Hey Jim, there was a ham fest this past Sunday, and a guy got $400 for one of them things.
Yeah, I see them for sale every now and then. I had a Commodore 128. I actually gave it away to somebody here in town. I forget.
No, this guy got $400 for it.
Yeah, this is a Commodore SX64. This was a portable Commodore, portable battery powered Commodore. You had a lid for it with a handle and everything, like a little suitcase. Had the color screen. There's a disk drive built in. You can actually get it with 2 disk drives. And I had it running on these 2 monitors down here. So that was an old station. There's some of my key collection down there. Let's see, I'll show you. There's a homemade key right there. I made that one. And I made that one right there. This one I had made for me by K8 RA. He's passed on now. He was a very famous key maker back then. And I asked him, would he make me a smaller key? And he did. I still have that key. And I made that one right there. That's a cootie. I made that cootie. And then this is a cootie from, who is that from? Bunnell. Back around, well, just before the bug came out in, what, like 1920 or something like that? I forget. They're pretty old. I had that. And I wrote an article for a magazine and I posted that picture. And I quoted from the original advertisement that Bunnell had on there. And I got a letter from their attorney saying that I had to pull that down because I was infringing on their copyright. So I called him on the phone, the attorney. I says, what are you talking about? He says, you got direct quotes from our ad back in whatever it was, 1920, describing that key. I said, who better to describe it than the manufacturer? I said, are you telling me, if Ford Company makes a truck, they can't describe it? And he says, well, I don't know. I said, you want me to take that down because of that? I said, I would think that would be something you were proud of, you know. Here, almost 100 years later, your company name, and Bunnell, by the way, still in business. The family still owns that, the key business there and whatever else they do. So he backed down. He backed down and said, "Okay, you can keep it. It's all right. Keep the thing." I think I out argued him. He was getting tired of talking to me. This is what they call a piano key. My mouse just quit. Oh, there it does. This is a piano key. You play it with your two fingers there like a piano. Well, my mouse just pooped out on me here. I think the battery died. Oh, there
Well-
it is. Okay, there it is. And there's that key again that I had made, the little one. And this right here, I don't know, Greg, you might remember this station because I had it out there at the
Oh.
Lynn Haven Park.
HP1B or similar.
Well, I got this right after you got yours, so this was
Yeah.
only a few weeks after I saw yours. I bought me one. And this is a code reader over here made by I forget who made that. Who made that code reader? Anyway, it's very popular. It would read CW and teletype and ASCII. So that would help. And there's an antenna tuner. This was my station with a speaker amplifier and everything. And there's my battery. There's my original novice. So this is what you get when you get there. There's my wife. She's 12 years old here. I married her when she was 12. Yeah. And there's my first license there, signed by Mr. CB Plummer. That's a they have that. You need to know that right there because let's get back up to the first page here, and I'll show you what he does. And it's a lot of fun. Of course, you're going to embarrass yourself. At least I do every time I do it. He has a little contest. Let me bring back up the first page. Oh. This is a lot of fun. Not so much fun for the new people because they make zero on it, but he has this little contest here. Where's it at? Anybody see it? He moves it around. Oh, here it is, the quiz contest. So here we'll just take it real quick and see if you know
The trivia. Yeah.
the trivia. Yeah, you know, there's like 10 questions and I got like 2 right, you know, and it says, "Oh, good. There are 1,000 people that answered this, and 922 of them made a better grade than you did." So there you go. What is the maximum power United Kingdom customers can use on a foundational level license? So he asks you that, then I got to move y'all out of the way. So you got to put an answer. So what do you think the answer is?
50.
50.
I was going to say 50. So let's do it and see what happens. No,
Yeah.
the answer was 10. Okay, so you go to the next question. He says, which American station has more ARRLDX multi-operator contest than any other? I don't even understand the question, especially the answer. I don't know, but
Is it K3LR?
I was gonna say D.
You're gonna say D. Okay.
Nope.
You're wrong.
Oh.
It's that one there. Okay. According to him, you're wrong. So now you're batting 0, or actually you're -2. Okay. Which continent contains the most entries? Africa, Asia, Europe, or Oceania?
Oceania.
I think Oceania. Everybody vote for that?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we ain't got one
Africa.
yet. Yeah. I mean, you really,
Let's go.
I get so disgusted sometimes I don't even finish because I don't want to know what my standing is. So we go to the next one. Is how fast do radio waves travel in a vacuum?
A.
Yeah, it's A.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
per
I mean, per
hour.
second.
Oh, that
Oh.
was dumb.
Oh, that's tricky. That's not fair. Completely unfair here. And look how many people are taking this. So what's this? Oh, Harry Maxim was president from 1914 to what year?
B.
36. B.
What do you think? I have
Let's
no
go
idea.
B. Let's
Huh?
go B.
He was their first president. So I'm gonna say it's either 18 or 27. I don't
Thinking 18, but I could be wrong.
you think 18? Let's
It's
see what we
B.
got.
Oh,
Oh,
30.
No,
I
neither
said
one.
B.
Wow, so he was president for a long time. He was president for what, 22 years.
That's crazy.
That was pretty much his
Well,
That's pretty much his.
yeah,
for
that's
years.
like our club president.
Okay, after World War One, when was the ban lifted? So World War One was over in what, 1917, early 1918?
C.
Huh? You
C.
think B? Which one?
C.
C?
C is always the if you don't know. Nope.
It was A, right after the war. Yeah, easy. Okay, so we got a couple more. In an FM telephone transmitter, the amount of deviation is dependent upon what? The baseband frequency, baseband amplitude, the local oscillator output level, the deviation control.
D.
D, D,
Huh?
D.
D,
D, you think we got
dog.
it? You want to put any money on that? No,
No.
we got it. We got it. No, we didn't.
Oh,
We didn't. I thought surely that was it.
Baseband
I've
is-
never done this bad before, I don't think. What are the original call letters of the first experimental broadcasting station in the United States? Issued license number 1 by the chief, Dr. Frank Conrad. I ain't got any idea. I have no idea. If you don't have no idea, you always guess C. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
There you
We got
go.
one right.
Yeah, the one you got right is a total guess.
So he changes these. I don't know if he changes them every day or what. Okay, geosynchronous orbiting satellites are located above the equator. What thing?
D.
I think it's C. Everybody thinks C.
22,000 miles? That's pretty far out there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 30,
Okay.
30 something kilometers. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's one more question. Okay. It says you've got 2 right so far. Which component of an electromagnetic field defines the polarity of the field?
The electric.
D.
D,
D.
D,
It's electric.
D.
You don't think it's B?
No, it's D.
Just because you're an electrical engineer, you think you know everything, huh?
Okay, let's try it.
There it is.
Hey.
You got one. Okay. So now it's going to give you your standing. Okay. So here's your standing. There were only 126 people that even dared to do this. Okay. And you're better than 27 of them. So you're pretty bad off. You're down at the bottom 30 there. There are 70% got better than you. But to get better than you only needed one more answer. So
Those are
Yeah,
some
but
tough
hold
questions.
it. Some of the people probably looked it up as they went along.
they do, yeah. Because I don't think there's any timing.
It would be too much work to look
There's
it
any
up.
timing on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have 5 people working on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, going on down the menu, you can get ham-to-ham references. This is where you put in there. If I wanted to say something good about Chris, I could put it. I say, Chris is a great Canadian. I say, I don't care what you say about Canadians. Chris is a good guy. You could put that right here, okay? Or you could say, boy, don't ever trade with that Frank guy up in Ohio. Whatever you want. There's pluses and minuses there. And he doesn't seem to do much. Now I don't know how to get back out of this. I think I got to do escape. No.
That's
You
No.
just click on the QRZ up top.
Is that what you do?
That's
Or
one
on the
way.
left- the
Okay, I
left
didn't know
arrow.
that. I usually just close it and go back down. And then you've got swap meet talk. Okay, so they tell you different things in there. This is where you can put your complaint. You can say, I wish K4LIX wouldn't put so much lengthy description about his radio for sale or something like that. So right in there. Or this guy's complaining about a complaint that he got. He says, I just got criticized by another ham for being too picky with an item he had for sale. So, just let off a little steam there.
You guys
So
said it worked, but it
that's
didn't.
QRZ. It's got a lot of stuff on there. Here's the guy. I don't even know what you would put here. I'm consider selling my 990. Okay. And some guy comes back and said, it's worth about $5. Well, a 990 is worth a lot.
You can sell it to me.
Speaker and everything. So I don't know what's going on here.
Smart Alex out there.
I think somebody's, well, it didn't create much of a thing. Some of them go on just for pages and pages. I mean, they'll really get to going on here. They're kind of funny to read. So that's that. I mean, I don't know how much you want to see, but that was fun for QRZ.
Well, Chris, do you have something on QRZ we haven't discussed
Oh,
tonight?
I need to turn that off. There's the off at.
I'm trying to think. No, most of it's been covered. I think the direction and the detail is something I use quite a bit for aiming an antenna.
Yeah,
but
I
you
like
don't
to
have a
know. My beam's
directional
fixed, so I
antenna.
have an idea of how close I'm aiming.
I think the other thing is like
Do it.
the pictures that you've got on there create conversation. So if you're on CW or phone especially, you'll have guys like with that, especially with the software that Bob introduced us to a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
that logger, it pops that main picture up right away. And right away, I'll get, and I was wondering why so many people are talking about my burgers on the grill there, Bob, until you
go,
did
yeah.
your presentation. Now I thought, okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, I'll throw mine up here real quick. I know we're getting kind of late here, but mine's not quite as long. Yeah, so this is the burger picture that we're talking about. And I was first getting my Arrow antenna tuned up here. So I was,
And those burgers are making me hungry.
yeah. So it was supper time, and I thought, well, why can't I do both at the same time? So there you go, a QSO on a satellite with the radar, or with the Arrow antenna, I should say, and a laptop, and the 857s are behind my elbow. But yeah, I haven't got too many pictures. My QTH with the antennas waited for a day with hoarfrost. It'd be a while before you guys get that to happen, so don't bother doing that.
yeah.
Hey, Chris,
this-
you could have said you're cooking the burgers with RF.
Yeah, well, I turned the antenna around and maybe I could. And this was taken by Greg. Took this picture here in the rocket launch area,
Yeah.
Alabama peanut field. And it was peanuts at the time, anyhow. I don't know what's sod now, I think. And it started raining on us, but we were doing well. So I just thought, well, the heck with it. Pulled out my wife's umbrella, put it over the radio, and we just kept on rolling. A bit of a hobby is astronomy and stuff. So this is I don't know if you can see it on your screens. There's a comet right there.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it. Yeah.
And that's my 6. And then my satellite antennas here. This 6 has now gone up to the taller tower, and my 10 gigahertz dish is here now. And I was doing satellite. I got a big crowd that we hang out with in the mornings and stuff. And one guy's name was Vince, and we started talking about astronomy. And he says, "Well, you got to post one of your astronomy pictures." So that's why I said, "There you go, Vince." So this is Orion Nebula. So the Orion constellation people know because it's got the belt of Orion. It's quite a distinctive thing. And then down from the belt is the sword. And then the middle star of the sword, if you look out on a really clear night, I think you guys would have to get out of town a bit to see it. But let's say you're north of Panama City. The middle star of the sword, if you look real careful, it's kind of fuzzy. And this is because this is what it is. That middle star is actually about 6 or 8 stars, including a gaseous nebula that makes up the middle star in the sword. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know what hasn't been touched on already. My lookups aren't as high as Greg's or Jim's, but I'm working on it. And logbook. Yeah, I don't know how. I got to look into that. I don't log on to that. I just sort of let it roll. I should probably update it. I can do it through my logger.
What was the last one you had on there? Go back to your logbook. 2013. Good, gracious.
Yeah.
You could probably put another 30 or 40 QSOs on there, huh?
Yeah, or maybe 50 even. Yeah.
You can bring them over from Logbook of the World. You can copy and bring them back.
Yeah, I should.
It'll take them.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of a download.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and like I said, you can see my email. You can't see what it is right here, but if you bring your mouse over it, bing, there you go. And you have to be logged in for that to happen. So you got a tiny bit of security.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to put that in. A lot of people don't put their email in.
Hey, while you're there, I want to show one thing. Go to N4 ST. What was Steve's call? N4 ST.
ESP.
STP.
Victor,
In
Pop.
for
VSP.
Okay, what's the call sign?
in for VST,
Victor,
Victor
Oh.
Sugar Tata,
Papa.
VST.
Victor Sugar Pop.
Victor
No.
Sugar
Yeah,
Papa.
put that in there. He's the one just passed away.
Oh, okay.
See what, this is how they mark them.
Oh, that's
Silent
interesting.
K 2023, and then they say silent key. So this is the way you'll see them marked in there,
Hmm.
and that'll stay there. I mean, I've seen some real old ones on there. He just leaves them there.
Wow. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Can we still send him an email there? They had an email hover over.
Did they? Yeah, I didn't. I don't know if he left that. I mean,
yeah, it's still active.
I don't. Well, I don't know if it's still active or not. It might be there, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody's,
Steven.armored@gmail.com.
answering them now. I don't know.
Let me
Yeah.
show you mine.
Yeah, let's see, Frank.
Go ahead, Frank.
Have
It's
you got
called-
one, Hank? Right?
Oh, I'll bring up Frank's. KC.
Well, I got it. I got it.
Oh, you
here.
got it? Okay, can you share it?
Yeah. Do you see it now?
Yeah, we're on a boat.
Yeah, well, I don't have much. You know, my lookups is 3,178.
But
Right,
you got
right
your
here's-
boat in there. That's important.
Oh, right there. That's the stadium where you play football. This is the federal building. This is the BP building, British Petroleum.
Yeah.
This is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And yeah. And
Yeah.
so one of the things I this is my base here in my boat. That's about it. I've been meaning to put more stuff in there, but I don't have the time. But that was it. I'll stop sharing.
No logbook.
That's great.
I don't bother too much with any of that stuff. I'm
Oh,
too busy
yeah.
with all
No,
sorts of
it's
stuff.
something older. It's something the older hands picked up.
Well-
That was drummed into us. It was
Well,
a federal law. You had to
Bob,
log your stuff.
AB4OB, what do you have on your page?
Not a lot, but I can show you.
Somebody left. They left us a chat. Who was that? Oh,
Jim.
Jim had to go. Okay. All right. I don't see on there yet. You gotta find it. They hide it from you.
Sure.
The share is sort of like center top, I think.
How's that?
Yeah. There you
There
go.
it is.
Oh, you're just about to break 2,000.
Yeah,
Okay, you're a premier, so you pay them $50 a year like I do.
yeah. I
Yeah.
found in when Good Tracker looks it up, you get a lot more data if you're a subscriber than if you're not.
Right, yeah.
And I haven't been able to put a whole lot of pictures. If you pay more, you got more access to stuff in there.
No, that's
Yeah. I just
Well,
didn't have a good
it has
picture.
nothing to do with your first page. You can put it whatever you want on your first page.
I was having
don't have
a
to-
problem.
You don't have to pay for that. Yeah.
That's my only picture.
Now, another thing
Oh,
about,
that's a good picture. Yeah.
yeah, you said your Good Tracker or any logger, electronic logger for that matter, if you're paying customer, you can link your logger to QRZ.com. And when you work a station, bang, all this information come up. And if you don't subscribe, you can't even use it, I don't think. You used to be able to, but it won't bring up any data for me.
Yeah, you need to update that page for your 7,300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some updates to do.
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting the pictures the right size for them to fit in there right. Every time I put them in, they say that they need to be less resolution or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta
Even
compress
smaller.
them with JPEG or something.
Yeah, it takes us a little bit of time consuming.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Next
Well, I
week.
appreciate all the inputs tonight. and a lot of interesting things about hams. So you can find out more about the people you work on, qrz.com.